Alright, so Mike Tyson ran into Don King at a recent Hall of Fame boxing event, and the rest, TMZ has the clips. Now, the thing we come to talk about on this video today is the fact that Mike, who was once worth over $300 million, is today worth about $3 million. Or should I not say worth, but I should say his net worth, or what he possesses, is $3 million. A mere fraction of what he once had. And in part, it has largely to do with the man called Don King. Now, $3 million is a lot of money. But if you ask Mike Tyson will tell you that $3 million US is broke. I remember hearing someone speak about Don King, and they were at his mansion visiting, and his grandchildren were present, and they were running around. And the person said that the only time Don King even cracked a smile was when they were discussing money. Not even his grandchildren could get him to smile. Now, Don King is this illustrious boxing promoter who, of course, many young boxers like to get under his wings, because it is said that he normally gives them a large bonus and material wealth before they have actually earned it. But Don King's strategy was to reel them in, and then when they started making the real bucks, he would make sure that he got paid more than the boxer did. It is rumored that this is what happened to Mike Tyson, and Mike said so. Now, a lot of fighters have said that they've made the most money with Don King. Some of them has even said that he might have robbed me, but I didn't have anything for anyone to rob me of in the first place. So if he made 30 million off me and gave me 10, that's 10 I never had. Now, it's also said that Mike Tyson made about $20 million per fight over the many fights that he had throughout his career. And people are saying that Mike should not have Don King to blame. It was Mike's own fault because, for one, he was not educated to the business of boxing. He was not an intellectual. And even then, after his first 20 million, he should have gotten his own accountants and his own lawyers to handle his affair. But like I said, Customado kept Mike sheltered. He robbed him millions. Mike Tyson actually had a $100 million lawsuit against Don King, but settled out of court for, I believe it was about $14 million, which was actually used, every penny of it went towards paying off the IRS in taxes that he had owed. Now, Don King's career highlights include multiple other enterprises promoting like Rumble in the Jungle, the Thriller in Manila, some of the biggest boxing events. And some of the most prominent names in boxing, including Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier, George Foreman, Larry Holmes, Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield, Julio Cesar Chavez, Ricardo Mayorga, Andrew Golota, Bernard Hopkins, Felix Trinidad, Roy Jones Jr., and Marco Antonio Barrera. The list goes on and on. King had been charged with killing 2 people in the past in 2 separate incidents. One, he shot a man in the back who was attempting to rob one of his gambling houses. And another time, I believe he stomped one of his employees to death. So Don King hadn't always been an old, feeble man that does not know how to defend himself or bring across violence. And I can only imagine that he used some of this to control some of the boxers, the young boxers that he took under his wing. It's also rumored that Don King was the one that was responsible for setting up Mike Tyson to go to prison on a rape charge, because yes, Don King plays that way. Now, a lot of people are saying that Mike had a lot to give thanks for when it comes to Don King, because he actually made him rich. But more people who know boxing and followed Mike's career would more give the praises to an old white man from upstate New York called Customado, who Mike Tyson actually called his father. And it was after Customado's death that Mike started his downward spiral. You know, Customado was always around to protect Mike, and when Customado passed away, Mike was lost. Mike was actually really protected, and when Customado passed away, Mike was lost, and in came Don King, and Don King took him on a world spin, and Mike Tyson went downhill after that. But first, of course, he rose to the top of the world before that hard fall. Now, what's funny about this whole situation is that Mike Tyson, who was once worth $300 million, that was his net worth, is today has a net worth of $3 million, while Don King, on the other hand, who he blames for robbing him over $200 million and tried to sue for $100 million, Don King's net worth today is between $150 to $170 million. So I guess it's safe to say that the money in boxing is not necessarily in the ring, but outside of the ring. Alright, let's sum this video up by saying this. You know, in life, money comes and money goes. And I know they have another saying, don't let the money make you, you make the money. Or the money doesn't make the man makes the money. And I firmly believe that Mike Tyson is one of these people. Mike's a true warrior. He's been through a lot. That whole rape stint, majority of the people know that that was all a setup, and he suffered dearly for it. And that's probably one of the reasons why he is now America's sweetheart and back in their good graces, and is also doing movies and primetime television, and he is earning his millions again. He is still looked at as a celebrity. I mean, not too many men, especially a black man, could serve time for 3 years for rape and then go back to the upper echelons of the entertainment industry or the sporting world. And Mike Tyson is a legend. In 2011, he was inducted into the Boxing Hall of Fame, and he still continues to live life. Still that Brooklyn boy that likes to fly pigeons. He's in love with his birds more than anything else. And if you ask Mike today about money, wealth, riches, he's more on a spiritual path than ever before. I believe he is a vegan now, has slimmed down a lot, and still trains, still has a mean left-right combination. And many people to this day, even though he is in his 50s, would not step in the ring with him. So Mike's here, man, and Mike's still doing good. I would be furious too if I believe that someone took that much money from me. And like he said, he firmly believes that Don King robbed him, used him, and caused him great harm. He's not ready to forgive Don King, apparently, because at the most recent event, at the Hall of Fame boxing event, he threw his drink or a glass of water on Don King when Don King came around to pat him on the shoulder, probably for a handshake or a hug for the camera's sake. You know how Don King is, he's always playing it up for the camera, but it's been said that he's a wicked man underneath. Now, all this is allegedly, because SouFLoTV, I don't know Don King personally, so I can't just say if the man's wicked or not. But I can tell you about the many stories that are out there and the many documented lawsuits that he had settled out of court for a mere fraction of what they were all intended for. To include Mike Tyson's $100 million lawsuit that he had him settle out of court for $14 million at a very desperate time in Mike's life when the IRS was on his back. They were forcing him to file for bankruptcy, give up all his fancy cars, the Rolls Royce, the Maseratis, give up the mansions. He had 2 mansions he had to give up, and basically humble himself back to a normal man. And like I said before, the average citizen will look at $3 million as a whole lot of money, but to Mike Tyson, it's a fall from grace. Although, if you ask Mike today, he would tell you he is clean, sober, fit, had never felt better in his entire life, and now lives for his kids. And I look forward to seeing Mike Tyson in more movies, because he seems to also be a damn good movie actor. It's SouFLoTV, man. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Let me know what you think about this one. I'm up out of here. Peace.